Amberwald. Okay. Legolas has entered the building. Ishtar Games was kind enough to provide me with an early access code to the new DLC for the last spell, titled The Elves of Amberwald. So we're going to play a first run of Amberwald here. This will go live on the day that the DLC becomes generally available. So if this is something that interests you, feel free to go grab yourself your copy. It should be available in Steam. But without further ado, I'm going in totally blind. I have a little bit of an understanding of what the new weapons are, but other than that, I got nothing going on. I think we're going to go for a bit of a leveling / hero heavy build. I don't want to do too much craziness with ballista and those types of things, so we'll go advanced training, celerity, omen of growth, and omen of dexterity. Do we want to go, maybe instead of growth, we switch it with omen of talent so we get a few extra perk points to play with. And for the moment, we're not going to mess around. This is a first run, but the new apocalypse system is looking spicy, and this is available to everyone. So you can go through and you can toggle on various difficulty increases and find just the difficulty that spices the game up for you. Very excited to play more with this. We did one run on fully maxed out everything. But yeah, today I think we're gonna leave the APOC system for another go. We have our omens. Let's meet our cast of characters and get into our first run on Amberwald. I hope that was the name that I used when I was describing things earlier. All right, so right off the bat, we got a lot of things going on. So I am aware that we have, what the heck is this? So we have a handful of different plants. And these plants, or seeds, I guess as they're called, have different abilities. So we have like Flying Thorns, which is a trap with multi-hit. We have Venomous Roots, which allows us to apply contamination from a trap, something I was asking for forever. Very excited about that. We also have these Abalone seeds that appear to give purging spores, allowing us to dispel things. As a side note, this is still an early access copy, so you'll see some minor issues, but hopefully you don't run into anything major. And then it does look like some of these have the ability to be upgraded. So these things give Amber Protection, which gives a movement point and some resist. These ones are doing some purging, while also it appears reducing resistance. So these may be for purging the enemy, not for purging us. We get contagion and poison off these. And it looks like right off the bat, we're getting hit from 3 sides. One thing I'm curious about is if we go into the build menu, we can't go into the build menu right now. I am curious if we can build on, these tiles are not Haven tiles, which makes sense because one of the things we need to talk about, let's bring our heroes over here. You just saw that Into the Wild proc there. So elves here have reduced jump over cost, so they're extra nimbly bimbly jumping from tree to tree, lapping milk from a saucer type of thing. But in addition to that, whenever they are inside the Haven, they lose 27% damage. So if we were to move this elf to here, which is technically outside the Haven, we gain 27% damage, which this person seems to have a little bit of damage reduction. What's going on here? No, I don't think so. Interesting. We'll have to figure that out. But they have some damage, and they also get some additional accuracy from being outside of the Haven. So that will be useful. Weapon-wise, let's look at our folks, because the other thing that we have going on that's very exciting, and I don't know if this was added with the DLC or not, but this Tainted Essence perk rerolling is spicy. You can select the reroll button, and then you can select a row or column that you want to reroll because you don't like what you got. Which means that you could be like, I want debuff, but I really wanted poison, and go ahead and pop this one in. For the moment, we won't use that. We're not on our main save that has 7 million essence. So maybe I will use it. We'll have to wait and see. But right off the bat, we got to get to know people. So Perda is our one-armed, determined occult hunter. Gotta hate the one-armed. And looks like they have defensive and a few other things. So that'll be interesting. We'll do builds in a second. Ooh, manual control. When the hero is adjacent to a catapult, ballista, or trap, unlock a special skill allowing you to manually use the effects of these defenses. Catapult is already manual, but nonetheless interesting. There are a handful of balance things that have been added. We'll figure out those things as we go. But for a one-armed person, do we have any like, I don't see any inertia. So I don't think we're going to be going with anything crazy there. This may be a reroll, because I see Contaminate, I see Sadist, I see Mana Collector. This leads me to believe that there is something to be had here. We have Hex, we have Blessing, which would, in my opinion, mean that we want the crit tree here. So let's do our first reroll. Let's reroll this. So reroll the collection itself. Confirm? Well, if that isn't just what I was asking for, that's pretty spiffy. Let's see, we'll grab Glass Cannon, assuming we can get ourselves good to go. And I don't mind grabbing Stunning, although we will not have Septic Shock, but we may have other ways to get things going. We're going to be leaving Runic Gift off the table, but I think that's okay. And we get one more here. Let's go with Carnage. All right, so this is our classic Sadist multi-hit. We'll talk more about the weapons as we get further into the festivities. The Pancake is in the building. Interesting. What's your deal? You're a squire, you're versatile, and you are chubby, but still have 9 movement thanks to celerity. So we could think about some type of momentum play. Oh, what in the world is... This is just a new icon for surgical strikes. Is it also different? After attacking and killing an enemy unit that was at full health and at range 5 or more, hero's next skill costs movement points instead of action points at 1.5x the initial cost. What? Okay, that's very interesting. I could see us going like surgical strikes, legendary assassin, big game hunter. We have flexibility, which is kind of interesting. Field study does not look like it's changed. We can grab ourselves some relentless, a little nimbleness. Man, it's been a minute since I have played this. Let's see. What else do we like for our inertia? I know we like, or for our momentum builds, we like inertia, but this has some good stuff. I think we can make this work potentially. I don't think we need this. So is this going to be more expensive? All right, let's re-roll this collection, see what we get. Okay, not necessarily what we were looking for. We could grab manual control just out of like morbid curiosity. I'll grab Runic Gift. 1, 2. Oh, and we do have an extra perk point, which means we get... I forgot. We get one more. Was there one more over here that I was particularly interested in? I think it's probably Runic Gift over there and over here. Over here. It could be Don't Panic, but the Haven is a weird shape. You heard it here first. And... I don't know. I don't know. Increase the maximum skill range to 16. Oh, so it is slightly different. All right, let's go with Field Study. We'll go with that and see what we've got. And then here is our first elf. And this is Amber Claw. They are a jester, hasty, and buff. We got lots of new abilities. Coffee Infused unlocks the Elfin Coffee skill, allowing the hero to restore all movement points once per night. Every 4 levels of the hero. That is insanity. As long as there are no heroes within 12 range, all skills gain vision. Very nice. Flicker. Follow and maneuver skills gain 15% perk damage increased by 8 for each tile of distance between the hero and the unit. This is insane for a momentum hero. Just throwing that out there. Infectious strikes, 20% stun. Whenever an enemy with negative alterations is hit, 40 poison. And then we have War Dance. At the end of an attack, if exactly one unit was hit, automatically cast pirouettes on an enemy unit within 2 range with a base damage of 25 plus your dodge. Okay. So, like, Flicker Strike seems bonkers. Oh, I just realized, did we got shorter weapons on everyone. What is even going on here? And I don't think, did I see any Blood Mage opportunity? I did not. Do I like defensive? I don't think I do. Let's give this a reroll again. See if we get... And then these get more expensive each time. How much is the second one? Let's do another one. I want to see. Okay, and then let's do like a, let's go for a poison build. Did Epidemic change? Every 3 enemies poisoned, apply 30 poison. Contagion for 2 to the closest enemy without contagion in range 10. Okay, so Epidemic has changed pretty radically. That's interesting. I don't know that we need that. I'll go with Infectious Strike. We'll go with that. We'll go with Mana Collector. So I'm going for kind of like a poison build. I want to play with the new Poison Flower. So let's see. We got 1, 2, 3. We got those covered. Then on this level, we'll take Hex. After attacking an enemy... No, I don't think so. I like Infectious Strike here, but I kind of want to... 2,000. That's expensive. I'll still do it, though. Oh, wait. It only changed one of them. What the heck? Okay, we'll grab Deadly Ranger. For each one-handed weapon equipped, we gain crit power. For each two-handed weapon, we gain critical for every 5 levels. It's at least interesting. And then let's get Volatile. This looks like too many. 1, 2, 3. That covers that. Then we need one more at this level. It'll probably be Bully. Then I don't think we're allowed to get all of these. I don't think we need Sadist. We can get those 3 and then those 3. Okay. This first night is going to be interesting since we are... Who's the most... You're the most, I guess, nimble. You can go over here. We got a lot of momentum weapons, which is scaring me just a smidge. But let's get our folks out on the Elven Highway a bit here. The mist is starting extremely in the middle of nowhere. Okay, well... We've done the work of getting prepped. Very interesting structure. What do we start with? We start with a bower and a shop over here. This is going to be a weird map. I tell you what. I kind of think it could be interesting. I kind of feel like ballistas might go really hard along the edges here. Like we put some walls, but you don't really funnel in this game. So I don't know. All right. We do have a shop. Does that mean that I can buy from the shop? It does not appear that I can. Let's just check gear really quickly. Make sure we're not like shooting ourselves too hard in the foot with any of our equipment. Looks relatively good enough. All right, and then everybody gets their first perk. So let's see. We're going poison with you. I think we'll grab Septic Shock first. Over here, we'll grab Stunning. Seems fine. And then over here, it was Quick Reload. This momentum hero is going to be a little bit funky, but we will see. All right, let's see what immediately happens here. The Amberwald Forest reacts to the last spell's incantation. We feel its magic mingling with our own. It uses its last vital forces to help us. You must protect these sprouts. Are these the sprouts we need to protect? I don't actually know. Like, is it, do we need to protect these as well? First reaction to the incantation. The amber magic present in this sprout emanates around it, helping your heroes. Okay. Okay, we'll just hang out there. All right, you gotta come over this way, my friend. All right, I don't think we need to do any work over there quite yet. I don't really want to zap anybody. I don't have to quite yet. Still assuming that corpse strats are the strats. So I'm going to be trying to get folks into the Haven before I start unleashing my fury. All right, so let's soften up the ones that we can, and then we'll just scoot over this way. Yeah, you're gonna be doing way too much damage. Right now this is feeling like the spicy side. I don't think it's gonna be super fun dealing with that. Can I? There's really not an easy way to get this guy sorted. We could use this, though. Hold on. This probably kills a bunch of things that we don't want killed. Let's try using one there. All right, that'll soften some folks up. I forget, we do have these. Do we have any over here? Not really. We'll be able to use this one. Oh, I don't think I moved you out of the way. Oh, I guess I did. So we're supposed to protect these things. Mission failed successfully, potentially? We'll see. I'm also pretty excited to see if corpse pile generation has changed in any meaningful way, and I'm about to find out the hard way. That's too much. Now, do they attack these? These say indestructible. So I'm gonna trust them. It does appear like you can also path through them. Now this would allow us to dispel stuff. Okay, now you're intentionally staying here to body block. That probably is not the best play. I'm gonna move to here and then we'll do that. What just happened? Okay. That was cool. I liked all the things that happened there, but what were these things that spawned outside? So, living hardwood. A hardwood wall reinforced with amber, making it totally indestructible and blocking vision. It will randomly disappear during the night. Wicked. Any way for me to... This is a very interesting... Who's making it all the way to there? This one, but they're not going to walk all the way to there. So I think we're probably fine. And then what are these? Living hardwood. Blocking vision. Okay. We'll get some folks in over here. What's the play here? But they're just standing on top of this stuff. This stuff here. So this is probably indicating that walls will grow there eventually. Is my read on that. That's interesting. Okay, we'll do that, and then over here, you didn't use all your actions, but I think we're good. We're gonna start popping off over here, hopefully, but we'll do that. And be nice to be able to use transfer. We did not end up with a great set of weapons for night one here. Okay, so I think that did just happen the way that I was thinking it would. I wish that some subtle frustration to the fact that did not kill this. This is, ooh, Super Spin has Purge on it. Word. So let's see. So you can walk all the way to hit this thing, and we don't want this to die. So I'm gonna brace here, I think, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so oops. So it looks like there are 3 stages of growth that we need to be mindful of. Are you inside the wall? Looks like you're behind the wall. The wall is here. You are here. All right. Let's use our free action there. Oh, don't you dare. Let's see. How far is this guy coming in? All right, he's good. We can actually probably do this without. Okay, I'm okay with maybe taking a punch there, and then you have done nothing. I'm kind of tempted to. Oh, Grape Shot just is way too brutal. But if I walk 2, this is probably a kill. All right, 1 hit point. You love to see it. Now these middle guys, we're not going to get them in the Haven, but I don't actually know how the zones for corpse generation work, so that will be a curiosity. All right, we're going to have lots of AP to spend next turn. What just happened there? Do these things attack? They do. Okay, so the ones that have like fiery blossoms on them, which probably should have been evident. Hold on, let's read the description of one of these. This is a Thornwood, a wall of Thornwood. It does lethal spine for 100 to 130. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Didn't get everybody sorted out there, but what are you gonna do? And then we have this weird situation here where this guy is technically like inside our Haven, so I think it's worth me popping him. But clearly not inside the Haven in the traditional sense. So it's gonna be interesting to see how corpses. Oh, that was perhaps not the play. I don't really want to destroy that wall, but maybe I should. I don't want to get surrounded by 2 of these guys. All right, well, I definitely don't want to explode. This guy can wrap around, which kind of stinks. I don't think there's anything I can do, though, unfortunately. And we're going to take a bit of panic over here because I don't really have anything else to do. All right, well, hopefully we're not. Okay, looks decent. All right, they're doing some work over there. The prism like thing is quite cool. This highway though does also mean that when the horde is well aligned, you can really like force people to go quite a long way in without generating panic, which is like pretty interesting. I don't love what just happened there. The wand is a rough starting weapon, to be sure. All right, I'm gonna keep holding the fort there, and then I guess I don't know that do I get to this guy if I like fully potion off? Close, but no. Which that's I wonder if I think I potentially could have. I think there was an opportunity there that I squandered slightly, but we'll let him go. Get blocked. So the thorn. Oh, we're gonna take a hit on one of our amber doohickeys. We'll have to see how bad news that is. Okay, well, I don't think it's ideal. I'll put it that way. Can I zap you? Oh, I didn't realize this one is properly in the danger zone. And I still can't get this guy. Oh no. All right, we'll see what we can do here. Not thrilled with that one either. Gonna stand here in hopes of trying to offset some of the danger. And do we have any more movement on you? We do. I feel like just moving towards the center is best here. Very interesting. So do these guys still prioritize us, which is good to know. This guy has just been a freaking panic factory, I just want to say. I don't like it. Let's see, you're all wandering in a way that is very palatable. So let's just let that happen. I am concerned that we still don't get everybody sorted out here. In fact, feeling very, very confident. Actually, hold on, I take it back. The addition of transfer gets the job done, and then these three, I think we can walk them all the way into here to see if we can do some corpse farming. Yeah, it looks like we can just chill. Oh, this guy. Let's look at kills really quickly. Oh, 18 here, 14. All right, so our Pistolier should get all the glory that we can afford them. This guy still can't get in. This guy can't get in. They may not bother though, so I think I'm just gonna finish off the night. Okay. Ooh, Pancake sneaking out that extra L. Very nice. All right. All that was for naught. We only got one mountain. A little bit of fresh and spicy tutorialization. Let's see what we get here. Holy, what the what? Okay, it is a blessed run, and so it shall be. All right, cool beans. We have no big ruins on this map. We're getting it from two sides this coming night, so we can clean things up. Oh, I was not taking advantage, or I was not playing well around Amberclaw wanting to be not in the Haven. That's probably part of why things went so poorly. Interesting. Okay, so let's see. I think we don't really have a tank. Did we have anyone who had tank potential? I feel like I didn't even check. Boom. Bodybuilder, Berserk, not really. Okay. Well, we'll get more folks later on. Let's do our levels while we're here. Hard to say no to a big damage. Are you? Oh, I forgot to label you. What the heck are you? You're gonna be a poison hero. Hopefully, we're gonna get one of those flowers to experiment with. And then that makes Pancake a momentum hero. I feel like I'm having a brain fart on what when we were building momentum heroes lately. I was building. Oh yeah, wait. Boom feels very critical, and we don't have that. Oh, you can reroll into the night too. That's very interesting. Okay, well, we'll see about that. We need to get some second weapons. I think you are going to pick up that. This is going to go to you so that you're starting to do some of those shenanigans. Then we'd like to see a druid staff or a flower. I don't really know what the flower does yet, but let's give it a roll. There's a flower. This flower looks like a dangling piece of anatomy. Not to call a spade, but we can do that for now. I'll hand that off, swap that with that. Actually, we like our dodge on our elves, I think. So we'll do that. The tome is awfully nice too. So I'm gonna go out on a limb and do that, and we'll grab that, and then for now that's you. Okay. Questionable whether that was the right way to spend our resources or if we should have gone for something a bit more aggressive, but yeah, this is very interesting. So Blight Blossom, the way that this basically works is the more you use the flower, the more you get blight stacks. And then when you get hit, if you're blighted and you get hit, you gain some poison from it, but you have a cleanse that you can do that spreads poison out across everything, which is pretty interesting. Let's see. So I think it is mostly houses that we're looking to build, but like, what's the right place to build stuff? This is an interesting map. This house looks like it's absolutely doomed. I feel like tucking a house in here is like a reasonable thing to do. And then I do think that we're gonna do some demolition. 2 ruins I think are still not worth it. Like, citation needed, but I'm going to clear some of this stuff out. I probably shouldn't get rid of these just because they're blocking this house that is so ill-positioned. So with 2 left, I think we're going to do 2 of these. Now, do we think ballista have been nerfed? See, we can't build the ball of death. That's an interesting wrinkle. We do now have these new seeds that we can play with. They're kind of like traps, but they are activated. But let's do our level ups here. Despite the fact that we have stunning, I think contagion feels like a good first grab. Over here, we have +1 multi-hit. I think it is still contagion over here as well. We don't have a way to stun over here. I'm not sure why I picked up stunning. I can consider that part of the tax on that is coming from the fact that my brain has not played this game in a long time. But that was not the play, I think. We'll get damage here. We'll definitely pick up the poison. Also, something you said about the stun. You already have 8 movement. I think a little bit of opportunism to get the ball rolling feels pretty good. And then you're +18 damage now. I think a little bit of resistance reduction is probably okay. That also feels like a slightly weird call. Our momentum hero picks up momentum right off the bat. I can get down with a nice big physical bump. But I'm in the market over here for, I mean, an action point is great. Damage is great. All right. I feel like our team is pretty solid. So can I not build? I can't build walls here either. How interesting. Do I want to start building some stun traps? I'm like seriously slightly at a loss. I'm like, what's the right way to build when there's a freaking highway headed directly to your base? What does our poison person have? This was a bad buy. Like on a sadist multi-hit, it makes sense, but our sadist doesn't have a second thing. I think we probably would have been better off with this. So I'm gonna swap it at great cost. Not my finest work. Petal Storm. That is a crazy thing to look at. And I think I'm gonna say that you can probably solo this side. No, you can solo this side on your own. And then Momentum Hero can move around a bit, and Poison Hero can be in here. Living on the highway, so we're getting that damage bonus. And then what the heck do we spend our defenses on? This may seem like a waste, but just like, it gives us 1 bit of oopsie daisy, which I feel like might be just what the doctor ordered. All right. Let's see what night number 2 has. All right, so we got... This is very interesting. The seed, we're out of range of the seed mortar, but that's a little spooky, if I'm being honest. All right, so let's see. Do we? We could get some contagion going. So what does this do? This does a bunch of damage. Wow, that is a lot of damage. Deathflower does a huge amount of damage on the primary target and then poisons everything around it. Then we have this cleansing spore thing that we have to center on ourselves. And then we have contagious pollen, which is the first you don't need contaminate to get contaminate, which is pretty freaking cool. But what do I want to do here? I think we let him come in. I'm really curious how corpse generation works on this one. I could see these getting a little out of hand. Oh my goodness. All right, that did not register on my things that could potentially happen list. That's not cool. How much dodge can a freaking seed mortar have? All right, so we just fell behind pretty staggeringly. So we're gonna need to figure that out. Not cool, game. Yeah, these take a lot to get going. All right, let's see how much. It feels too early to be doing work on these guys. So I'm just and the interesting thing about the death flower is you can't be stacking blight without killing stuff. So I'm gonna get. I think we're gonna need more help over here. Is my gut feeling. Let's see, and you can get this buff from the amber infused doohickey. Get a little extra movement. But yeah, it didn't occur to me that the seed mortars are going to be really annoying. Okay, so the other interesting thing. So let's talk about the poison flower. So we have this little T-shape that's going to give a bunch of poison. Then we have cleansing spore. Then we have contagious pollen, which is like a diagonal like this, but it has follow on it. And it costs mana, and it gives contagion to the stuff around the thing that was killed, which is pretty interesting. So we just got, because this costs 2. Deathflower costs 2. Okay, that's good to know as well. Okay, so you're gonna keep going in. Yeah, it did not occur to me that... Okay, so Deathflower costing 2 is interesting. We haven't seen it here yet. Oopsie daisies. But the Boomerang also has a primary attack that costs 2, which is interesting. Okay, we'll continue running away. I think this guy's just in an awkward place. Like, not worth trying to... I guess actually, hold on. Let's just move like this. I don't think we need any extra help here. We got buffer all the way around this. We just have to make sure we're cleaning up. These walls also make some of the pathing issues interesting. All right, so let's see. So if I do... So I can do a contagious pollen like this. I don't think I need to. Let's do this. Then we can just zap you. And then if we do this, that's getting a lot of poison shifted around. But now, oh, this guy, I didn't quite get him sorted. So let's just pop him. Okay, nobody's coming in anymore. And then you. We're just gonna keep on zapping folks. Is there anybody out here? Let's see. How much am I hitting this guy for? Too much. This guy probably too. Maybe he can take 2 hits. He could not take 2 hits. All right. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this because this way everybody's getting the buff, which seems useful. These 2 guys are going to be a problem. How much more movement do you have? All right, let's get you over there. That is a dramatic effect. Potentially seems like it might be a little ill-scaled, but maybe not. All right, so let's see. So we could spend a little bit of mana here. We're probably gonna end up secondhand killing some stuff that we don't necessarily want to, but and then the other. Okay, there were I think a few mistakes were made that I may need to provide a little support on. We still have a lot of things coming in to like chew on this. So we may need to. Nobody over here is causing panic though, which is pretty special. These 2, we got another turn on them. So I guess we can have you hit that guy and maybe also I guess I do have enough to come hit that guy and then run away. Okay, should have gotten rid of the barricades. Didn't see that one there. Okay, should have been shooting from out here though. This is, I need to be standing in here to get the buff, but then I need to be out on the other side, which is a great deal to remember. Oh, you know what the other really interesting thing about this is that hadn't occurred to me? By standing in or out, we have the ability to like modulate our damage. So if we're gonna get a kill, stepping in makes that kill less likely, which is pretty cool. Run away like that. It does look like someone is getting all the way in here. I'm not entirely sure. We will. So who do I target this on? Okay, so I can dispel stuff with that. This looks like I should be able to click it, but I can't. All right, let's do that and that. My poor barricade. All right, let's see. So now I want to try out Petal Storm. What does this do? It does a bunch of damage. Range melee, targets 18, limit 1 per turn. And it doesn't. Okay, let's. I don't know if I want to use that. That was less alluring than I expected. Like, what is You have to really, okay, so you have to really be in the thick of things. So we would get really into the thick of things by doing something like this. And then, I mean, that is a devastating hit. Do you want to try it out? Sure, I want to see what it looks like. Okay. And then we can kind of run back. And unfortunately, we still have a few guys that we have to take care of. But that wasn't terrible. Now, this does hinge on my belief that we can clean this up ourselves. Which, the only question mark is going to be this guy. Okay. Not too shabby. Now, we know we're going to have to take out this guy. So, oh man, he's about to... He's potentially going to hit the... Alright, to protect our doohickey, I'm going to come stand here. That felt less than optimal. You did all your attacking from inside, which is not great. Oh my gosh, and it's still going to attack the freaking amber flower thing? Dang it. All right. Okay, so you should step over to here so that you get more damage. Actually, hits significantly harder. I hear Olive in the background boofing away. Some things never change. Okay, so the big mystery here has to do with cleansing spore, because like we're at 28, which means we're gonna put poison applied by cleansing spores is 84, poison applied by cleansing spore on hero. Okay, so if we get hit, things will happen. Just gonna slow everybody down a skosh. It's going to be interesting. At some point, we're going to start being like, it's a good thing we can dispel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I don't know when that's going to happen. Oh, that was not the click. All right. Feeling a bit like I need to go rewatch my old guides and relearn how to play the game. Some of the facets are feeling a little not so familiar. That didn't kill you because there's no... The other weird thing about Death Flower... Hold on, so I want to try out this cleanse. So I'm going to do cleansing spores on myself. And that is going to apply a bunch of poison to everyone. That's pretty cool. Interesting. Wonder if I can repair these amber-infused sprouts. I kind of get the vibe that I will not be able to, and I will rue the day that I allowed anything to hit them. But yeah, it does. It's feeling very hard to farm corpses on this map. I can't imagine that is accidental. so we got a couple more. I wonder if I can kind of like lure them over onto the highway. But the blight was interesting. And how much does it cost for that cleanse? It costs 1. So this almost makes me feel like there's a play here for almost makes me feel like there's a play for the for a tank build utilizing the flower, which is very interesting. That is exactly the tile I did not want him to step into, just for the for posterity's sake. Okay, but we managed to S rank it. I'm not saying it's all good in the hood, but also kind of wondering if there's a wise play around investing in a seer. I like starting with the bower. Ooh, an offhand boomerang. Offhand boomerang is pretty sick, actually. So the person that would use the offhand boomerang does not have an offhand, but normally I think offhand boomerang is actually like the new goated weapon for multi-hit heroes, because it's a base 3 multi-hit. Oh, but it's not free. Ah, so it's -1 but not free. Curious. Let's roll the reward here, see if we can get something. Fey Amulet is awfully nice. Gonna see if I can find something better, but the Fey Amulet ain't bad. Alright, I think Slayer's Pants of these get Pancake a little more mobile, and then also that's a nice upgrade. Alright, and that's worth selling. And then for now, Pancake is just getting all kinds of weird things, but the skill range on that is actually pretty dope. So, no complaints. And then I think I am so completely lost on how the heck this should be built. I think I'm going to do that, and I'm going to scavenge this 3 ruin. How much? Everything seems like it needs some repairs. Can I just... Now that I've gotten rid of all of the extraneous stuff... Okay, cannot be repaired. Cool. I'm going to spend the 70, and I'm going to repair the structures. Starting out with this is interesting. Do I want to... Is this a map where it behooves us to... I kind of want to move this, so I'm not gonna... I'm gonna move that to there. Oh, did that start out upgraded? Interesting. That would be curious. Let's get rid of this stuff. This house is still gonna be a problem. I think I'm just gonna get rid of it. So far, I haven't been taking advantage of the seeds much, but let's see what we get here. So you're going to be a poison friend, which means stun isn't bad. That XP gain is pretty spicy, though, so I'm going to grab that. But poison is king, and then let's grab damage and movement. I don't mind that one bit. We will take stunning. For each one hit, so we just get some crit out of this. I don't know that is important. We're not going to be investing in crit, so I think Bully is definitely worth the price of admission. Then we got our Sadist multi-hit, who's not going to be hitting 5 times yet. Let's take a look at what the shop has. Are we going to get any multi-hit out of our shop today? Interesting fur armor. +2 sacred flower doesn't seem terrible, but I don't think we necessarily need it. The game is strongly signaling that I'm going to need to dispel. So I'm not entirely sure how I'm gonna think about that. But let's see. Let's see what Pancake gets. Pancake gets some more momentum. A little bit of resistance reduction. And a relentless. I don't know about manual control. Oh, that's right. It's point blank shot that... Well, point blank shot was one of the things. Which, have I seen that at all? Everyone has field study. So no. So the answer is no. But also anything may have changed. Your accuracy is still only 14. I think we take a skill range and I think we take an accuracy. And we're pretty happy with both of those investments. Do need to start getting that crit going. And we'll crit power. Never hurt anybody. And then... I'm not sure we need Mana Collector. If we don't take Mana Collector, we can take Legendary Assassin for that little bit of sustain. I'm gonna take Glass Cannon. And that might be like a little controversial, but... And then I'll take that. We'll take Carnage next. That all looks good. I am gonna do one reroll here. See if we can get anything better. This is better. We'll grab that. Mana Crystal is a big get for our Poison user, who's now going to be able to go a little ham bone. 13% XP is not the worst thing in the world. So you get that. You get that. This gets sold, and this gets sold. Yeah. We're currently rocking... I could replace the pistol with a the Journeyman Scepter. Since we're not going to be... Since this is our likely composition, since we don't have point blank shot. I think that's what it's called. My memory fails me. So here's what I'm thinking right now. I'm thinking that we... Like, I'm thinking that we build walls that kind of go like this, and like this, and like this, and kind of like box in these flowers. But I'm not convinced. Do we want anything else from here? I'm going to take one more look. Collateral hits. I don't think collateral hits was changed to be my dream option. Let me look really quickly, though. Okay, range 1 to 2. Whenever an enemy dodges, cast automatically collateral hit skill on a random enemy within a range of 0. We just don't know where the range of 0 is from. This is different, though, which leads me to believe that it may be, which would be pretty cool. But we still have to figure out how the heck to do that. So let's see. So I'm going to put you over here. You're going to go here. You're going to go here. I'm feeling pretty okay about stuff at the moment. This house is in a bad place. I also think my shop is in a bad place. All right, let's do a little bit of building refactoring. I'm gonna put that there, and then I'll do that. So my goal is to get like 3 clusters of stuff immediately surrounding. So I'm gonna do like... This is just me mapping out. I don't know what we're doing with that one or that one, but like... Because we have the right number of houses, right? I can't build any more houses. Yeah, I have my 4 houses. And then Not going to do any upgrades. Okay, I think we're good to go. Figure out where you go a bit later. So is this is for... Okay, so we can get... Ooh, that's interesting. Some things are not yet quite complete. Okay, so we can get a lot more debuff out of those too. That's interesting. What is this one upgrade for? More poison, and then you upgrade for more damage. Okay. All right. Well, I think we're ready to rock and roll. So let's see what night number